I do not want to listen to myself. Bad hair day. Well, we'll get over it. Oh, my God. Is there anything that can be done here? No, not really. All right. Let's see if we are. Look, sound, stream. Feels as if everything is moving in a good direction. So we can get started. Bad hair, another Brooks Koepka lot. All right. Welcome to the show. Great to have you all here. You guys are the best. Sip of water. A lot to get to. Steelers Bengals tonight. We've also got the first bowl game, the Myrtle Beach Bowl. We got to pick on that. And another college basketball play. We lost the one last night. We won the one earlier in the afternoon. I come across some information from guys that know what they're doing. I figure I'll pass it along. I'm not going to pretend like I know what the pick is or that I researched it. I'm just going to pass along intel from people I trust. If you want to follow it, feel free. If not, feel free. Just something we'll pass along that we'll throw in at the end. Great to have you here as always. Thursday is the next stream. Every Thursday, every Monday, we go 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Bit of a change to this Thursday. Instead of going at 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific, there's no Thursday night game, but there is a Friday game on Christmas, Saints-Vikings. And we're not going to do one on Christmas, obviously. People have things to do. You shouldn't be watching something like this on Christmas, whether you celebrate or not. You just relax. Take the mental day off. But we're going to bump back an hour on Thursday. We're going to talk some college football. We're going to talk some, we'll probably get some NBA in there as well. In fact, you know what? Yes, I just realized that. We'll do the Friday night game, but we'll do an NBA card as well. Best bets from what we're thinking on Christmas. Reason we're bumping back is I have the opportunity to host on ESPN Radio Thursday morning. So from 10 a.m. Eastern to 2 p.m. Eastern, that 4-hour window, I'm going to be on with my man Myron Metcalf. He and I and Matt Jones do a show on Saturdays as well. Myron and I are going to work together for 4 hours on Thursday. So check that out. There won't be as much gambling. If you want to hear some traditional sports talk radio stuff, boom. Although, now that I think about it, yes, I will be talking about my NBA picks for Friday as well. But I'm going to do that from 10 a.m. Eastern to 2 p.m. And then we would normally start the stream at 2 p.m., bump it back an hour. I'm going to come off the radio, get the studio, which it's not much, get it set up, get the notes and everything in order. We'll go at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. So hopefully everyone gets that. And in the descriptions for these videos, I always put when the next stream is going to be. Now Trevor Lawrence is going to date someone. The Jets, man. I know I was probably ranting on this last night during the stream, but I still can't get over how bad the Jets have screwed this whole thing up. Like I cannot get over it. No one is ever going to remember that win for anything other than the fact that it cost you Trevor Lawrence. It doesn't even matter if Trevor Lawrence is going to be a great pro. It was there. It was your only silver lining. There was no reason to go out, and it's December. It's the final 3 games of the year. I cannot get over the fact that they screwed that up. But it's not surprising considering it's the Jets. So enough of that rant. Last night, 2-2, but one of the losers was the Colt McCoy INT prop. He didn't throw one. And it was minus 160, so I'm counting that as 2 losers. Just to be fair, not going to lay heavy juice and then count them all the same. So here's what we got. Evan Ingram was a good read. Evan Ingram over on receptions. Evan Ingram over on receiving yards. Both hit. In fact, the suggestion of playing him 17-1 to score the first TD, they had a chance. They were right there. They threw it to him. There was a play on the ball. We could have had that, but we didn't. Those were the 2 winners. The Washington Hoops bet lost and the Colt McCoy bet lost. So 2-2, but actually 2-3, which means overall 126, 162, and 2. We're back to 36 under, making no headway whatsoever as we approach my goal of getting back to 500 by the Super Bowl. Pathetic. All right, so we understand that Thursday we're bumping back 3 Eastern, noon Pacific. We'll cover the NBA card. We'll cover Saints-Vikings. We'll get some bowl games in there as well. In addition, before we get to Pittsburgh, let's take a look at the line moves for the NFL coming up this week. So I'm going to give you the look ahead number which was the spread last week that came out for these games. Then everybody played. Then I'm going to give you the new number that came out yesterday, as well as any significant moves that have taken place since. I should move this up a little bit. So Friday, the Saints were a 6.5-point favorite hosting Minnesota. That game is on Christmas. Remember that. That is now up to Saints -7. Minnesota looked terrible against Chicago yesterday. Absolutely terrible. Detroit and Tampa Bay didn't have a number on the look ahead, so there's nothing to compare. Tampa came out as a 7.5-point favorite yesterday. That's already up to 8.5. Be careful with the Bucs. One thing I've noticed is they've come off the bye. It's only 2 games, and I'm going to go back and look at some of this stuff from the weeks before. They have not been a very good first half team. They were very sluggish against Minnesota in the first half, and then they were very sluggish yesterday against Atlanta. They're closing strong, but the first half has not been good. A little fight breaking out in the comment section. Good for you guys. Arizona was a 3-point favorite over San Francisco on the look ahead. That's up to 3.5. That's a Saturday game, as is that Tampa Bay Detroit game. And a third Saturday game, the Raiders laying 2 against Miami on the look ahead. That swung all the way to Miami -2.5. That's a 4.5-point adjustment. 4.5 points. Saturday game here in Vegas. The Raiders have completely fallen apart down the stretch for the second year in a row. And we just watched them on Thursday night blow it against the Chargers. Miami beating the Patriots. We had the Patriots yesterday. I don't know why Belichick couldn't kick that field goal to give us the teaser number, but whatever. He probably knows more than I do, and he's not really caring or concerned about covering a damn teaser, but all of us out there would have liked that hoodie. So, whatever. Raiders are going to have 10 days to get ready for this game, 9 actually, because it's a Saturday game. Miami traveling. The spot would point to the Raiders, but good God. Good God, the Raiders have been bad. Like, they can't close. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk about that on the Thursday stream. We'll be doing the Saturday games as well. Suddenly, this Thursday stream is going to be like 3 hours. NBA, NFL Friday, NFL Saturday, bowl games. Probably throw some college basketball picks your way. Like, what the hell happened? I was like, we'll talk NFL football on Friday, and that'll be good. It's going to be a 3-hour stream. Chargers. Now we're moving to Sunday schedule. We're a 2.5-point favorite against Denver on the look ahead. That came back out at Browns -10.5. It's now down to 9.5. Some Jets money showing up there. Number 1, Browns off a big win against the Giants. Maybe the thought process here is that now that the Jets won 1, they'll go out and try to win another. I think there's another argument to be made that now that they avoided 0-16, they completely lay down here. I don't know. It's a lot of points. We'll talk more about that later in the week. Houston was an 8.5-point favorite on the look ahead, hosting Cincinnati. That's up to 9. Big surprise there. Pittsburgh was a 3-point favorite against Indianapolis on the look ahead. That's going to be a huge game. Another short week scenario for the Steelers. That is down to 2.5. A little bit of Indy money early. It's going to be interesting to see how that one plays out. Real interesting. Indy, they play tight, man. We got that cover on the teaser leg, which didn't even matter because we teased it with the Patriots. But they should be able to put away a team like Houston. It shouldn't require that much. Chicago was a 3.5-point favorite at Jacksonville on the look ahead. Chicago goes out and beats Minnesota, so they've won a couple in a row now. They're still alive in the playoffs. Jacksonville goes out and gets blown out by Baltimore. The Jets lose, which sets it up for Trevor Lawrence to Jacksonville. The Jags then go from a 3.5-point dog to a 6.5-point dog, and the early money this week's coming in on the Bears as well. It's up to 7.5. Like, if you are in Jacksonville, first and foremost, Marone's going to be gone after the season. That GM spot's going to be awesome. Because if you remember, the Jags traded away everybody. Jalen Ramsey probably would have been nice if I had a second name in there. I don't know if Calais Campbell just left. AJ Boye, like all those guys that were on that team that left, all of them, they got a ton of picks back. If you're going to get the Jacksonville GM job, you get to hire a new head coach. You get to draft Trevor Lawrence number 1 overall, and you got a bunch of picks over the next few years. Like, Jacksonville's a pretty enticing spot for an up-and-coming GM candidate. I'm just going to throw that one out there. It's Jacksonville. They'll probably screw the whole thing up regardless. But the idea that they could be something in the next few years. Let's give it maybe 2 to 3 years, they could get it going again. Not with this team, right? I mean, they stink right now. So, yeah, if you own that, if you're Shad Khan and you own that team, I'm bringing everyone together on Saturday night. Everybody, team, coaches, everything. I'm looking around that room and I'm saying you will not, under any circumstances, win this game on Sunday. Now, I know what that will make you think. We don't want to go lose. We want to compete. Bonuses, $50K to everybody. Just go out and lose. Don't throw the game. Just don't win it. That's it. You can play competitive. Miss a couple tackles late. You Jacksonville. I'm sure you can find a way after losing, what is it, 13 straight? I'm sure you can find a way to lose this one. Don't get any ideas. Don't get any idea. I'm Shad Khan. I'm down there. I'm finding everybody for making big plays in that game. You can make some plays. You make big plays in that game. By the way, probably let a kick return or something get back too, right? You're getting fined. So that's that. Washington was a 3-point favorite over Carolina on the look ahead, came back out at -1.5, then bet up to 2.5. A lot of that probably has to do with the health of Alex Smith. No one wants to bet on Dwayne Haskins. He wasn't terrible yesterday, but he wasn't very good. Baltimore was a 9.5-point favorite against the Giants, came back out at 10, got bet down to 9.5. Kansas City was a 12.5-point favorite against Atlanta, came back out at 11, got bet down to 10. No one's interested in backing the Chiefs anymore. They don't cover. They haven't covered in 6 straight. Everybody comes through the back door against this team. The Saints did it yesterday for the push. The Buccaneers did it to cover the 3.5 a few weeks back. It's like every week. The Dolphins did it last week. Every week, these guys are letting someone through the back door. They're winning, but they are not covering. Be very careful about laying that many points. Seattle -2 against the Rams on the look ahead. They came back out at -2. That's an interesting game given what just happened to the Rams. I don't know who's going to want to back the Rams after they lost to the Jets, but McVay is now 2-6 against the spread in his career the week before playing Seattle. Keep that one in mind. I don't know how he does against Seattle, though. I think he's done all right. We'll take a look. They beat him earlier in the season. Philly was a pick at Dallas. That's now Philly -1.5. Continue to play well on offense with Jalen Hurts. Green Bay was -4.5. Hosting Tennessee. This is going to be a cold one. It already looks like this might be one of those snowy games at Lambeau Field. Green Bay laying 4.5 against Tennessee. It got bet down to 3.5. I'm kind of inclined to side with Tennessee here. This might have a ton of points, to be honest with you. Green Bay's weak spot is if you can run against them, right? That's what Tennessee does better than anybody. But Tennessee's weak spot is their pass defense, and Aaron Rodgers is having an incredible year. So we're probably going to be playing the over in that game. And then Buffalo and New England, final Monday night game of the year. Bills were laying 4.5, came back out at 6.5. Now it's up to 7. I mean, the Bills have just been smashing people. Now that the Patriots have been eliminated, you don't really get the satisfaction of driving the final nail into the coffin, but you might as well go out and try to kick their ass anyway because it's New England. Tides have turned. Buffalo is an exciting football team. There we go. Tonight, Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. 42 degrees, 5% chance of precipitation, 12-mile-an-hour winds. So it doesn't seem like we have to worry about anything regarding the weather. Injury report. Brandon Allen, the backup quarterback to Joe Burrow, is out for this game. That means it is going to be Ryan Lindsay who's getting the start. In addition, Logan Wilson, linebacker, is out. Safety Brandon Wilson is questionable. I did a double take when I wrote this down this morning. Brandon Allen, Logan Wilson, Brandon Wilson. Anyone else find that stupid like I do? Brandon Allen is out. Logan Wilson is out. We take the Brandon, we take the Wilson, we combine it into Brandon Wilson, the safety. He's questionable. There you go. For Pittsburgh, James Conner's questionable. Offensive lineman Kevin Dotson is out. If you're wondering on Conner or anyone else who's listed as questionable, that stuff comes out about 90 minutes before game time. Line movement. Pittsburgh was an 11.5-point favorite on the look ahead. They came back out at 11.5, and they got bet up all the way to 14.5, which there's some 14.5s out there now. So if you like the Bengals, that's what you want. There's also some 14s out there. If you like the Steelers, that's what you'd be playing. A little bit of under money, too, from 41.5 down to 40.5. I have 4 picks on this game. I'm going to start by laying the 14 with Pittsburgh. So this is something I bet somewhat regularly. Mike Tomlin owns the Bengals. He owns them. Let me go ahead and bring this up. Probably should have already had this done, but didn't. Ryan Finley. Is that his name? What did I say? Lindsay? Ryan Finley. Excuse me. Tomlin in his career against Cincinnati, this includes a playoff matchup, 23-5. 23-5 straight up, 19-8-1 against the spread. This is a get-right spot for the Steelers. Nothing more, nothing less. They've lost 2 in a row. They've looked very sluggish last 3-4 weeks. Most of that's been due to crazy schedule, COVID, injuries, short weeks, all this stuff. They had to play Buffalo. All these games they had to play on the short week. Well, now you got a week to get ready, right? They hadn't played. They played Sunday night in Buffalo and lost, and now they've got 8 days to turn around and get ready for this one. Doesn't mean they're going to come out and look spry or fresh or anything like that, but they should be better than what we've seen. This is the chance to get reorganized. You had the number 1 seed locked up, and you really stumbled here late. That's okay. I don't think anyone saw them going 16-0 before the season started. They're still a fantastic team. But the reality of the situation is you probably want to try to hang on to 2. The Bills are nipping at their heels to try to grab that 2 spot, right? Grab 2, and you don't have to worry about the Chiefs until the championship game. End up in the 3 spot, you got the Chiefs in the divisional round, assuming you get out of the wild card game. So very careful there if you're the Steelers. This is one of those games you don't come out and screw around. You come out, you handle your business, you win the game. You're going against a quarterback who's thrown 19 passes in his life in the NFL. 2 of those were intercepted. None of them went for touchdowns. Bengals are ready to pack it in. They've shown some fight this year, but they don't generate much of a pass rush. You can throw on them. You can run on them. Their O-line stinks. Pittsburgh should be able to pressure the hell out of this kid into some turnovers. Not messing with anything other than that. Like right out of the gate, I'm just laying the 14 with the Steelers. So that's pick number 1. Pick number 2 and 3 are correlated with one another. I'm going to go Roethlisberger under passing attempts, Roethlisberger under completions. Passing attempts is 39.5. Completions is 26.5. Going to play the under on both. So right out of the gate, let's talk about his averages. This year, he's averaging 40.7 passing attempts per game. 40.7, right? Total here tonight is 39.5. So 1 under the average. Passing completions, he's averaging 26.5 per game. The number is set at 26.5 tonight. He's been in a lot of games where he's had to throw quite a bit. That's what gets to that average. This isn't one of those games. This is one of those games where you should get up on Pittsburgh. The total's 41.5. So we're being told it's going to be relatively low scoring, or at least that's what the bookmakers are pricing it as. And I would imagine that this game will feature Pittsburgh getting a lead, building upon the lead, and then running the ball late to grind out the clock. That's it. You don't need to go out here and play for style points. You don't need to humiliate Cincinnati and beat them 52-7. You're not trying to get in a college football playoff. You want to win the game. You want to work on some things. You want to get better. You want to beat these guys. But I don't see this being a game where Roethlisberger is going to need to throw 45 times to try to figure out how to get past Cincinnati. He'll probably throw a lot early because this team doesn't run all that much this year. They don't run well. But tonight's a night where you can get a lead. You're not going to have to do a lot of up-tempo stuff. You should be able to grind the clock in the second half. So if his averages are 40.7 with attempts and 26.5 for completions, and tonight they put it out at 39.5 attempts and 26.5 completions, I'll play under. I don't think he's going to play to the average for his passing attack. He'll be good. He'll be solid. I'm not betting that he can't throw for 300 yards or something. I just don't see a situation where he's going to have to throw 40 times and complete 27 passes to win this game. I mean, he hasn't looked right the last few weeks anyway. Go out there, do your job, run the ball late, get the hell out. So those are picks 2 and 3. Roethlisberger under 39.5 attempts. Roethlisberger under 26.5 completions. I wrote that as attempts like an idiot. Final pick for the game. There's 4 for this game tonight. Then I got a bowl pick. Then I got college basketball to pass along to you. Jermaine Pratt, linebacker, Bengals. I'm going to go over 5.5 tackles for him tonight. That's where it's going to be. Over. His prop is set at 5.5 tackles. Jermaine Pratt, I'm going to go over based on everything I was just telling you. Last time they played the Steelers this season, the Bengals got routed. He had 8 tackles in that game. And again, playing into the logic that if Pittsburgh's up in this game, late third, early fourth, you want to start focusing on the running game. Good. That's what leads to tackles for linebackers. Constant pounding of the rock. You go back through some of the blowout losses for Cincinnati this year, Pratt's rolled up some high tackle numbers. So I'm looking at 5.5, and I'm thinking that's probably playing right around his average. In fact, let me bring that up. This probably should have been done beforehand if I was a professional, but I, for some reason, feel the need to not have these things prepared. All right, what are we at? Tackles. So combined, solo, assist. I want the combined. So we're looking at doing the math. Can't do that in my head, God forbid. In 13 games. Yeah, he's averaging 5.38 tackles per game. So the prop comes out at his average, but the game is not going to play to his average since he's played some close games this season. Let's go through some of the blowout losses. So they got smashed by Baltimore 27-3. He had 6 tackles in that game. They got smashed by Pittsburgh 36-10. He had 8 tackles in that game, right? Now, that doesn't mean in every blowout he's had a bunch of tackles, but I like that tonight. That's just what I'm playing into. I think the Steelers get up early in the passing game. I think they're running late, and I think linebackers like Jermaine Pratt are going to end up racking up a lot of tackles. Garbage time tackles. If you've never heard that term before, we just coined it on the Odd Shark live stream. Garbage time tackles. That's what we're playing for tonight. GTT, garbage time tackles. I'm going to trademark that SOB. Not really. That costs like $500. I looked into that for something stupid once. Was like, once I trademark it, am I going to do anything with the idea? The answer was no. So there we go. All right, 2 more picks. So college football, Bahamas Bowl, not Bahamas Bowl, Myrtle Beach Bowl, North Texas and Appalachian State. I am going to play the under 67.5 points. Now, some of you might think that's crazy because we've talked on the stream before about playing overs in North Texas games. North Texas's defense absolutely stinks. They are horrendous. Horrendous. They got good offense, but a terrible defense. App State likes to run the ball. They're fantastic running the ball. They're good on third down. North Texas is terrible on third down. I think App State can own this game. I'm not laying the points because it's 21. I don't want to lay 21. I think North Texas can score. I'm not going to mess with all that. I do think that the total's gotten out of control. It was sitting like 62.5 or something, bet all the way up to 67.5. I don't know if we're going to see that much scoring in this game. These are teams. North Texas is the type of team, drives right down the field and then turns it over. All right? You can't make 68.5. Boom, play it. You know what? If this just went up a little bit more, I might as well check to see myself if that's a readily available number so we can give out a better price. Yeah, 68.5's all over the place. 68.5 it is. So I am going against the line move here, but I don't care. App State ranks 16th in the country in rushing attempts per game, 44.6. They like to run the ball. They're good at it. They should be able to have a lot of success tonight doing that. Now, you can say that in college, and I did that with a game earlier this year. It wasn't a Maction game, but whatever it was really early in the year. And yeah, both teams ran well, and they just ran big plays all game long in the running game and went clearing over the total with no problems. I'm not betting on that tonight. So under 68.5 is going to be the play. Yeah, look at that. 68.5 almost everywhere. Damn. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate you pointing that out. If the game lands 68, we just went from a loser to a winner because of the chat. So that's garbage time tackles right there. I throw something like that out. Now everyone's got ideas. Everyone's thinking smart. Everyone's sharp on a Monday. Final pick, basketball pick, Austin. I don't even know if it's P or Pay, to be honest with you. Austin Pay. That sounds better. Austin P sounds like something I probably would know because there would have been a lot of jokes made there. Austin Pay. Austin Pay +3 against Murray State. That's it. Take the 3. That's it. Someone I know, someone I trust who's very good at college basketball likes that one. I gave out one yesterday, Oklahoma State. That one hit. Gave out Washington at night. That one did not hit. It's not my handicapping. I have no idea who's on these two teams. None. I just get tipped off by people who know what they're doing. I trust them, and I figure, you know what? We're doing a stream. Let's pass it along to the people as well. So there you go. Austin Pay +3 against Murray State. So recapping the 6 picks, laying the 14 with the Steelers, Roethlisberger under 39.5 passing attempts, Roethlisberger under 26.5 completions, Jermaine Pratt, Bengals linebacker, over 5.5 tackles, North Texas App State under 68.5. Thank you, Tom Fleming. Under 68.5. And Austin Pay +3 against Murray State. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. We're going to be back Thursday, but remember, it's going to be a little bit later. Thursday is usually 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific. I'm doing ESPN radio from 10 a.m. Eastern to 2 p.m. Eastern, obviously. So because of that, I'm not going to be able to transition that quick. I want to make sure everything's set up looking nice. Put a nice shirt on for everybody. Nice, classy outfit as we get ready for Christmas. So 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific on Thursday. We'll cover the NBA card for Christmas Day. We'll cover Saints, Vikings, and the Saturday NFL games if there's anything I like there, as well as maybe hopefully more college basketball winners and any bowl games that pop up in that time. So until then, have a wonderful week. Good luck with all your shopping. Be safe out there. Be smart. Be kind this time of year. It's been a tough one for a lot of people. Let's just take it easy. Take it easy out there. We'll see you Thursday. Great stuff. Proud of you. You guys are the best.